Gears of War E-Day looks absolutely incredible. Everything we've seen so far, the gritty atmosphere, the terrifying horror, the tone and intensity of the first day the Locust invaded, it's classic Gears, and it's done exactly right, and it feels like the return of the franchise we all love. But honestly, there's one single thought that keeps burning a hole inside my head. If this game launches without the right customization and progression systems, it's not going to matter how good the game looks or how incredible the campaign is, players just won't stay. So today we're breaking down exactly what E-Day needs at launch and why it matters more than you think. Let's be real, modern games have changed. Years ago, it was enough to have a campaign, a solid multiplayer, and a fun horde mode. That was the package, the whole package. But today, that is just the foundation of gaming. Because now players don't just play games, they live inside them. They want reason to return, they want goals to chase, and ways to make their goals their own. If those systems aren't there at launch with E-Day, or if they are boring, then people will just leave fast. That's the uncomfortable truth with shooters nowadays. And with Gears of War as legendary as the franchise is, it's always had incredible gameplay than a deeper, long-term progression system or player identity. E-Day, however, is the perfect chance to fix that. And if the Coalition miss it, then it will be a massive wasted opportunity.
I can reconfigure their radios to reach Afira.
Let's break this down properly. Every multiplayer game has two main groups of players. Keeping both of them happy is one of the hardest parts. First, you have the casual players. Play a few matches after work, on the weekends. They want satisfying rewards and they hate the complicated systems. If the progression does feel pointless for them, they will just leave. They'll leave and disappear. Then there is the hardcore players. Gamers that play every single day, grind for hours, they need long-term goals, they need ways to show off their skills and dedication, they want a status, a bit of recognition, something to work towards for months to come. Most games nowadays, they either make things way too easy, so hardcore players get bored and leave, or they make the never-ending grind, so casual players just get bored and quit immediately. Either way, the player base just collapses, and that is exactly what E-Day needs to avoid, because if casual players don't stick around, the population will drop, and eventually the hardcore players leave too.
Yeah, why don't you come talk shit when your balls drop? And quit going through my stuff.
Now let's talk about the most important piece of the puzzle. Customization. A lot of people think it's just cosmetics, just skins to make things look cool, but in a games like Gears of War, it's so much more. It's actually a player's identity. When you see someone in a lobby or fight alongside you in horde mode, and what they're wearing carries a story, it shows what they've achieved, how they like to play, how long they've been fighting in the world of E-Day. That's why E-Day needs that customization on every level, not just character skins, not just weapon skins. We're talking about weapons, armor, loadouts, how the character looks and feels. When everything can actually be tailored to the player's experience, then every match will feel personal. And when it feels personal, then the player stays longer, way longer.
So what now, Marcus? We save everyone we can.
So let's talk about the weapons. So this is where most games can completely drop the ball. Right now, in so many shooters, you unlock a skin, maybe a camo, and that is it. Boring. No meaning, no story, no real progression. It's just a skin. Now, E-Day could change that entirely. Instead of just unlocking items, your weapons actually evolve based on how you play, how you use them. If you rush into combat and fight aggressively, you see battle scars on your lancer, war paint, a few dents. It looks like it's been through hell. If you're more of a support style, defending objectives, then maybe it's a little bit more cleaner, nicely polished. Now, if you dominate in PvP or hit high ranks, You get unique animated prestige camos that only the best players have. Suddenly, the player base realizes that your weapon isn't just a tool, it's a record on how you actually play. Players want to show that they're good. They want to show how they play. They want to show how they use them. Players don't want to just be good. They want to show it off. Now, when every match changes how your weapon looks, you keep coming back to write more of that story. With an E-Day, every piece of armor should be customizable. Every paint job should reflect what you survived in the game. It could be tied to co-op, it could be tied to the campaign, completed on insane difficulty, it could be tied to horde mode waves, the PvP rank you have. All unlocks should be tied to things that you've completed in-game. Looking at another player in E-Day and instantly knowing this person has beaten the campaign on insane difficulty is something we should be seeing. They have survived 100 waves in Horde, and that's why they look so fucking badass. We see a veteran, a PvP player that's created instant respect because of what he's wearing, what he's achieved, and how he looks. It creates retention because players don't just want to look cool, they want to earn the right to look that way. Every piece of gear then becomes a trophy, and it becomes more progression for the player.
Nice.
So we're going to talk about an idea that I have, a procedural battlefield. So we're talking about procedural maps in specific, each map procedurally generated each time. We're talking about placements on the map, cover, changes, position each round, weapon pickups, and in one location is not no more, it's changed area. I'm talking about procedurally changing items and cover systems on each map. Basically refreshing the identity of the map each time you play. Changing the battlefield, not completely random but dynamic. Covers shift certain positions, locust tunnels open up in various places, weapons armor sports move around, the environmental hazards change positions. Basically, a controlled unpredictability for each player on any map they play. But what do you think on the procedural maps? Let me know. It's an idea I've had for a long time, and I feel like it would work so well in a 4v4 like Gears of War E-Day is going to be. The maps will get stagnant and boring if something doesn't change, and it does stop the call for new content. When each time you play a new map or a new round, the cover is not there where it usually is, the weapons aren't there. Pretty simple stuff to do, but let me know what you think. I would like to know more on this topic.
Do it. The remaining gears will hold the fort.
So finally, we're going to talk about the reward system. If everything is easy to get, then nothing feels special. If you can buy everything, then nothing feels earned. E-Day needs a system in place that rewards something meaningful. Rare cosmetics needs to be tied to higher skill or huge challenges. Seasonal prestige items need to disappear forever once the season ends. Currency unlocks earned through performance, not just time spent. And players don't just want stuff, they want proof of effort. When you earn something hard, you value it more. And when you value what you've earned, you keep playing longer. Gears of War E-Day has already something that most games dream about. It's got atmosphere, it has the tone, it has an identity. It has that terrifying, epic scale. But none of that guarantees longevity. Longevity comes from systems, progression systems, identity systems, customization systems. These systems need to be in the game. If the Coalition gets this right, it won't be just a great Gears game, it will be a great Gears of War game where players return week after week, year after year, not just for XP, but will build who you are in this universe. And that's exactly why This all matters. Thank you once again for watching the video. Please do leave a comment. Don't forget to like the video. And if you like all things Gears of War, do not forget to subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.